I'm Luke Manson, and this is the Kiwistyle podcast. Here I talk to my friends in the New Zealand hardcore and metal scene about what they've been up to and what they're going to get up to. I'm the singer of the band Exile, and I've been playing in New Zealand hardcore bands non-stop for like the last 18 years. So I've made a couple friends and probably a couple enemies. And right here is where I'm going to share those stories on the Kiwistyle podcast. My first guest is Vasely, the guitarist of Saving Grace and Standover. We sat down in Grafton and had a lengthy chat over a couple ice-cold Tiger low carbs. He even managed to spill one on my floor. Thank you, bruv. We talk about his new festival, Wellington-based festival, Summer of Hardcore, and highlight all of the bands that played it. Let's break it down now with Vasily. All right, welcome to the Kiwistyle podcast. Got our first guest on, Vasily from Saving Grace, Standover. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me, bro. Good to be here.
All right, so we just hit... A couple weekends ago, we both played Summer of Hardcore 2024.
Yep.
Your brainchild.
Yep.
Run us through the motivation to put it on.
Man, it's just been a while, like since you've seen a bill like that in one venue, one day. You know, it was overdue. It felt like there's been like a resurgence, obviously, of bands coming out of the woodwork and playing hardcore again in New Zealand, which has been good to see. After what seems like a few years of a lull due to COVID and just due to a whole bunch of shit happening for a lot of people and. You know, different kids coming through and different bands popping up, you know, but it's heaps of old heads coming out of the woodwork now to play shows. It's been just real encouraging to see all the activity over the last 2 years, I guess, lots of shows and tours happening again. So it was just, the motivation was like, let's bring everyone together on the sort of lineup we all kind of grew up wanting to see, you know, try and do it in one day, try and get all of the best of New Zealand hardcore bands under one roof. And yeah, it was fucking awesome, you know, like to be able to book a show like that a few months out, announce it, and not have any bands drop off too is a bit of a miracle, as you know, with New Zealand. So it was an awesome day. How'd you find it?
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. Very reminiscent of like old Hamtown Smackdown.
Yeah.
Like, like 10 years ago was 2014.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
2014 was still like real average for the New Zealand music scene.
Yeah, true. It was starting to kind of like go like that, right?
Yeah, it was just
show numbers and a whole heap of stuff.
It was going into its dip that it stayed in for like kind of like 10 years. But I really enjoyed that it was at Valhalla, you know, 9 bands. And the coolest thing about it is you called it Summer of Hardcore and you put on hardcore bands, which is great. Yeah. So, you know, like opener was
by
Luca.
Design. Yeah, by design.
And everyone that just smashed it. I really thought it was really cool. There was a barbecue. Yeah. There was a merch tent. So you set it up like kind of like, I mean, you and I have seen that stuff overseas, but haven't seen that in New Zealand, you know, like someone sets up a barbecue, they set up a merch tent, there's like merch sellers. I've never seen merch sellers in New Zealand before.
But that in itself was hilarious, you know, the fact that the bar is so low that you just do a couple extra things and everyone loses their mind, you know, like you and I have been around a long time, we've seen a lot of people do things differently and like promoters come and go over the years. And yeah, I guess like I think it's time to raise the bar in terms of how we conduct ourselves in terms of quality in New Zealand, you know, and all facets of music. So if you've got the means to do something cool, just do it, you know, like a lot of people sort of, you know, I respect people who don't give a fuck about any of that shit too and keep it like mad real, like play underground shows on the floor with a shitty PA and stink backline and they still fucking kill it and everyone has a great time. Don't get me wrong, that has its place too, but when you're trying to like get good footage, you're trying to like record the show, every band's like hyped to like play their best, you know, you may as well fucking go all out, grab a great backline, make sure all the bands have got good gear, you know, look after them and just, you know, fucking bring that community vibe together that's kind of been missing for a long time. Yeah.
And awesome everyone band. is just bringing up the level to a state that like in New Zealand that I've, you know, not seen New Zealand for a long time. Everyone there was bands were a lot noisier.
Oh, for sure, man. But you think back in the day, you know, like in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, when the hardcore scene was probably at its biggest in terms of shows all across New Zealand, there was also that sort of factor that no one had ever really toured outside of New Zealand for a long time. So when bands started opening up that opportunity, you know, and like we started seeing bands like Antagonist and Saving Grace touring a lot overseas and coming back with that refreshed energy and that sort of like leveling up each time, it definitely drove the quality of the music up as well because people could see something that they hadn't seen before, like in terms of professionalism, whether it was like, you know, the way we set up shows, the way we promoted shows. I think it drove like a different sort of attitude with a lot of younger kids that hadn't seen that before, and that was cool to see. And now like the world is so fucking different. Like kids find music on the internet. They don't find it from shows like we used to, from getting the flyer for the next Friday or Saturday night to like look forward. That's the only thing you're thinking about all week. There's a show, we're going to drive 6 hours to a hardcore show.
Yeah.
Everyone's just got everything in their face all the time. Like they're distracted. Like everyone's got the memory of a goldfish, like a 12-second attention span. The way they consume music and content is completely different. So it's just like, it's cool to kind of bring back the best of both worlds for a weekend, you know?
Yeah, I mean that has a lot to do with that lull too. I mean that specific area that you're talking about, Saving Grace and Antagonist coming back. I remember that original Antagonist lineup when I was a Grom as well, like Alan Melville.
Yep.
And like that was kind of like New Zealand had its own like bleeding through, like everyone fucking headbanging together and shit. And, like,
the horseshoe becomes like the push pit up the front, and you start getting that metal and hardcore mix at every show. Yeah,
for
sure.
Thinking back on that, because I remember walking into the venue and like just being like, do you know what I mean?
For sure, man.
It's mosh.
Yeah, everyone's got like that memory of that one show that they fucking walked into and was like, yes, this is why I'm coming back to this shit, you know? For me, that was like 2002 King's Arms, Hatebreed, Perseverance tour, you know?
Yeah.
Promise of Bloodshed, Evil Priest opened up. It was the most fucking violent pit I've seen in my life. I was like, I've never seen anything like this before in heavy music. And I'm like, I know that this is what I'm fucking here for, you know? Like, it just changed my life.
That's sick.
So like, if you think back, like, what was that show for you?
I was going to a lot of metal shows, but I remember the first, because when I was into BMX, we were listening to a lot of metal because there was like Slayer and Metallica in the BMX video clips. And then someone gave me a couple hardcore CDs. One of them was Evil Priest,
Which
Terror.
One? Which Evil Priest record?
The black one with must have been the two bones, the skull, like a skull.
Yeah,
must have been
Underground Hardcore, the first album.
Yeah.
The second one had the first on it. Yeah.
And then I remember going to, that Parkway Drive was coming, and I went to Alan Melville. I think is one of my earliest hardcore memories. And Alan Melville on maybe it was the Don't Close Your Eyes release tour, and I turned up with all my BMX mates, and we were like pissed. I can remember like I was looking through like a tube, and we were just kind of like in the pit getting like pushed around and stuff. And
that would have been 2005. That was the Saving Grace Parkway tour. Those were that band's first ever shows outside of Australia.
True.
Yeah. First tour outside of Oz. They came and did 3 nights with us, and it was Killing with a Smile tour. It was like King's Arms, Alan Melville, and I think we did the Hamilton Boat Shed on like a Thursday night. Antagonist may have played that show actually.
True.
Fucking years ago. It's like, what's that now? What are we? It's 2024, 19 years ago, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's wild, eh?
Damn. Yeah, good times. But so back to Summer of Hardcore. So you put 9 bands on. What time did we start? Like 6?
Doors were 5. I think the first band, Luca were on like just after 6:30.
Yeah.
Show ran on time pretty much for most of the night.
It was doing real well when I noticed it was doing real well.
Yeah, it's the Exile sound check, bro. It's all those computers on stage, G.
Someone tried to reboot their MacBook.
Where the Wi-Fi dropped out. Fuck.
Yeah, I was trying to call Elon Musk. I was trying to get my shit together. Starlink went out on my ears.
Bro, I walked off stage at 10 to 2.
Yeah.
And I was completely cooked. Like the Standover set, I was already cooked.
Yeah.
We've been drinking since like 6. Trying not to drink before Saving Grace played. The whole night didn't work out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like a big night, man. Like it was a big day, a big night, but it was good, man. Good energy right up to the fucking
right up to the end. Yeah, we
awesome.
we were packing up at 3, and then we went to night and day after.
Yeah,
because you know how they've got like the hot food and the thing. Like we went there like 10 p.m. to go get a drink, and I got some like lozenges for my throat and stuff.
Get some of those
stacked
wedges,
fried
bro,
chicken.
That have been under there for like 11 hours, eh?
Wedges, the chips. But when we turned up at 4 a.m., there was nothing. So I was like sitting in bed at the hotel with like a packet of grain waves on my chest and a protein shake.
Rugged. At least you had a hotel room that night, bro. I about drop off point, rip bones.
I offered them my floor, but they were hell bent on sleeping in their car.
I had no idea. Otherwise, brothers, we're sorry.
Yeah,
would have put you up in my house. My house was full.
Real full.
Boosting, brother. Boosting.
Yeah. All right. Let's run through the bands anyway. So we'll highlight some New Zealand hardcore bands.
For sure.
All right. So first up was Luca.
Yeah, man. They've been playing shows for maybe like 6 to 8 months now. Wellington band. With some people I've never seen playing bands before.
Yeah. Only person I know is Geordie from 1X.
Yeah.
So Geordie's been around for a long time.
Yeah. Geordie's been around for a hot minute. Jack, I've only just met the last few months. Their drummer.
Yeah.
Sick drummer.
Jimmy on guitar.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Hilarious.
I don't know him that well, but he's a good kid.
Yeah,
he's
CJ on
young
bass.
as I think. Jimmy, I'm not sure how old he is, but I assume
quite
he's
young.
way younger than us.
And then CJ on bass.
CJ on bass, yeah.
Yeah, some
and
previous history in like deathcore, grindcore bands.
Yeah, more like like grind sort of cross bands almost. Heavy as fuck though. Yeah,
And then
CJ
Aaron.
is awesome. and Aaron, the singer, who I think is the drummer for Happy Valley, right?
I never, yeah. I
think
haven't
so.
seen Happy Valley yet.
I'm pretty sure he plays drums in Happy Valley. I've seen Happy Valley a couple of
But
times.
British
I can't remember
dude.
who does what. What's that?
Is he British?
No, I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't think he's British.
Oh.
Who, Aaron?
Is he from Christchurch?
No, it's just a Kiwi fella with a sort of younger accent.
Really?
Like, you know how young
Is it a
fellas,
millennial
just
accent?
differently, they sound different to us, bro.
That's true.
I had this dude come up to me at a show the other day, and I was like, bro, where are you from? And he goes, what do you mean? I was like, where are you from? He's like, oh, just Auckland. And I go, what do you mean? Oh, you sound like you're from Europe somewhere. He's like, oh, no, bro, I'm just young.
Yeah.
That was his answer.
Was that his
I'm just
answer?
young. I was like, what do you mean? Like,
Yeah.
do you guys like fucking just swapping accents out every day? Because you confuse the shit out of me, bro. But
I
I don't know,
this
man.
accent of
I
TikTok
don't
or
know.
some shit.
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
All right, Luca.
Luca,
So
heavy though, heavy
hardcore
like
band.
heavy
Yeah.
hardcore band. Yeah, like heaps of sort of like mid pace sort of beat downy sort of European sounding shit coming through. It's cool.
They covered
like it.
like Suicide Silence, and I think they covered like Zabulba. Was it?
I'm not sure. I know that they do a Suicide Silence cover. I don't really know their band's music. So,
All right. Next up,
who played next? Take Hold.
Take
Yeah,
Hold.
Take Hold, melodic
the only
hardcore
other
band
people
from
from
Auckland.
Auckland. So only Exile and Take Holder from Auckland.
And that was also by design. I wanted to have like a band that's a bit like that on the bill because that's
Melodic
important.
hardcore.
Yeah, totally. Like melodic hardcore that has more like a genuine sort of good emo feel to it. You know what I mean? Like emotive hardcore. If I think back to all the bands we were seeing at shows growing up, there was always like the Night Creeps or the Dead Letter sort of bands that were part of the hardcore scene. They had that more emotive sort of raw sound, more melodic. Yeah, great band.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think they just dropped their EP a few days ago.
Yeah, they got brand new music, so check that out.
Yep, new video coming out. Will come out today.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, solid.
Yep.
Who was up next?
After that, we had
I could recall
Gravel
all of these
Pit, I think.
bands in order
Gravel
on
Pit.
stage.
yeah, right, Gravel Pit.
Gravel Pit, yeah.
Gravel
Wellington.
Wellington, awesome punk hardcore band. Obviously, Bailey, really good friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Legend of a vocalist. She's been around the hardcore scene for a long time.
Yeah.
She used to play in a band with Fuzz back in the day in Wellington. I think they were called Nothing Still. Maybe I'm making a meal of that, but I'm pretty sure that's what they were called. Long time ago. And obviously Jason's been around since
Face,
fucking
drummer
forever.
of Damage, drummer of Strangers.
Guest Abs host.
Guest Abs host, yeah.
So many bands. Stress, Old Loaves. Yeah. Fucking legend.
Old Loaves, gee.
Old Loaves.
Is that what I think it is?
Old Loaves.
Like an old loaves?
What do you mean?
Yeah,
What
like
are
an
you
old-
thinking about?
Like an old river mill or something.
Loaves,
river
like
mill.
loaves of bread.
Yeah, like an old river mill wholemeal or something.
Yeah, bro. Well, how old is your loaf?
Yeah.
Oh,
I put
yeah.
my bread in the freezer so it doesn't do that. Yeah.
How long does your bread stay out before you chuck it in the freezer? Like first piece of toast, if you only have one, do you just chuck the rest in the freezer?
When I get the first bit of bread back, I'll put it in the toaster because I know that's as good as it's ever going to taste, and then I chuck it into the freezer after that.
What kind of bread are you running at the moment?
Vogel's toast,
Yeah.
just to try and keep the calories down. Just a serving size. I'm a big bread fan. You know?
Yeah. I don't mind the old graino, as you can tell.
All right.
But Gravel Pit, awesome band.
Yeah.
Hopefully they do a new album soon because they've done 2 EPs that are awesome, and they did that split with Wolves,
Yeah.
Angelo's band. Cool songs on there.
Mm.
They're starting to get heavier and heavier because Luke from Standover and Body Siege now plays bass, and I just reckon they're getting faster. Some of the new stuff that I've heard kind of almost sounds like almost Terror influence, like a bit faster.
Yeah.
So I hope they just record a whole heap of songs and put out an album soon. That'd be
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that.
After that we had, I think, Drop Off Point, right?
Yeah. Bridge
Drop-Off
City
Point,
Crew.
Bridge City Crew. Fucking awesome band, man.
Yeah.
I really like Mike's vocals, I reckon he's got a great voice for that sort of style.
Yeah.
Obviously Bone's got great riffs, like we all listen to the same sort of New York hardcore.
I reckon Mike has really come back into his own because like he's got the new music. He's
Yeah, man.
cool. He's great on stage, and
He's
I
awesome.
think when they threw him in, he
Yeah.
might not have been like so much experience as a frontman, but
Yeah.
since obviously I live up on the top of the North Island, I've seen Drop Off Point maybe a few more times than you, so
Yeah.
I've seen his progression, and
Yeah.
then, like on the weekend, and then maybe if you check out that Sick of It All footage that Judgment Day Productions posted as well, them playing at Sick of It All kills it solid.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I never saw them in the early days. Like, I was never there on the cusp of Dave leaving and Mike joining. The first time I even knew that Mike was singing in a band was I saw the footage that they posted up of the studio sessions for the EP they put out.
True.
And it sounded really good. Like, all the behind-the-scenes stuff just sounded awesome. I was like, this guy's got a fucking sick voice.
Yeah.
Because I remember him coming to our shows, like, years and years ago, but I only just clicked who he was after I met him again once we reconnected, recently started playing shows together.
Yeah.
But, yeah, great band. Drop Off Point, awesome. Again, another band I'd love to see a full length from, you know?
Yeah.
hopefully that happens.
I mean, they definitely got it in. They got the steam in them because they're highly motivated guys, like Bones and Gareth.
Oh yeah, bro.
Love it, you know what I mean?
They fucking they put in the hard graft, bro, and I love to see it. You know, like people coming back that have been around for so long and still doing so much. You know, look at what's happening in Hamilton right now. Like there's a scene again.
Yeah,
there wasn't for a very long time. Not the same scene we're talking about. For a long time. So to have that back and have someone like helping book all ages shows and seeing young kids coming out, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Gareth mad respect. A lot
for the scene.
Oh, bro, hard out.
Zine.
Yeah,
he's
man.
Done Exile, a lot of graffiti, logos and stuff.
Yeah, he's a well-respected artist, bro. Like Gareth and I have been friends for many, many years, but like his graph game is fucking strong. Shit's fucking tight. He did stuff for you guys, obviously.
Yeah,
legend.
That shit's all around the world, straight up.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
people wearing that stuff.
Yeah, bro, it's awesome.
Yeah, what's up next?
Brawler, bro. Brawler. Killer set, man. That was a fucking awesome show.
Brawler.
I didn't expect what I saw, Yeah. They were so heavy, bro. Like for a 4-piece.
Yeah.
Heavy as.
Bro, Brawler, my favorite New Zealand band.
Yeah.
Just everything. I just get it. Like nothing.
Yeah.
Music that I'm kind of into, and the music that like Exile makes, kind of like niche, kind of Euro styles, and then no one's really chucked their leg over into like that ignorance.
Yeah.
And then Brawler just come out just fucking out the gate.
Just wignorant, bro. Wignorance. Nah, it's good.
Insane.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Tight,
of
man. Heavy.
Yeah.
Heavy bits. Heaps of heavy bits. Yeah, he's a great drummer, bro. He's a sick drummer. Yeah.
And I mean, he's sending out triggers as well, so that's something that you don't hear on like New Zealand hardcore.
But it works for that sort of sound, that shit's again a different type of hardcore again. Like everyone's got their own sort of little different version of the sort of heavy music they play, but that sort of stuff's not been done in New Zealand for a long time, or not really like that ever.
I don't think it's ever been done. I couldn't name another band.
But it's funny because that style of music right now, that heavy modern beatdown stuff, is also happening globally, and prior to this era of it was happening in the 90s in the UK, and we were just talking about some of those bands earlier like TRC, Beatdown Fury, all of that stuff. Like that was different again, but it's cool to see it happening in New Zealand. Those dudes put on a fucking sick show, so mean.
Yeah, check out Brawler 100%.
Yeah.
Did you know that there's a YouTube channel with multicam video and desk audio of all your favorite New Zealand hardcore bands? Judgment Day Productions. Judgment Day Productions is a YouTube channel run by Matt Livingstone of Antagonist AD and myself. Pretty much we go to shows, we hold cameras, we put it online. I'll leave a link down in the description below to check it out. Now back to the podcast. All right, making our way through the lineup.
Yeah, bro.
Who's up next?
Brainwave. Is that right? Brainwave.
Yeah.
No, Standover.
Standover.
Yeah,
so
Standover.
You play guitar for Standover?
I do.
Yeah. So let's give a little bit of background on Standover. So pretty new band. You guys got one EP release.
Yeah, I just did a demo tape, like 3 songs and an intro, 4 songs thing, last year.
Yeah.
Standover had been in the plan for a long time as a side project. Yeah, Reese and I kind of started.
I remember you sending me demos. Trying to get some art, like some other people on it.
Yeah.
And it kind of never picked up.
Initially, it was me and Reese, and Mikey was part of the initial plan back in 2016, I think, because all the Noose and a couple of other songs like Doom, the one that's going to be on the record, were written years ago, and it was always me and Reese, both writing lyrics, me writing riffs. Jason was too busy at the time. We tried to do it with Mikey the first time because he was doing Stress and he was doing Old Loaves and Gravel Pit. So it didn't work out, but him and I were always like, let's do a fucking band, heavy hardcore band. Especially when I moved to Wellington, we've been talking about it for years. So the stars just aligned and we finally did it. We started rehearsing, I think, the summer gone the year before, like the end of 2022 into 2023. We started jamming just like once a month. Everyone would get together like clockwork. Started writing songs. Jammed a bunch of shit and played like 7 shows, I think, in our first year.
Yeah, right.
It's been fun, man.
What are some of the influences of Standover?
Like musically, everyone's different, but I think we all kind of like that Clevo sound from back in the day, the sort of darker, more Slayer influenced, heavy hardcore, We all love Integrity and Ringworm. Bands like One Life Crew and All Out War, and just stuff that's a little bit just more Neanderthal, So we it was always just like dark metallic hardcore, But it's been fun, man. Like Reese and I have known each other for probably about 22, 23 years, and to see him fucking at his age, bro, just ripping, still absolutely
51?
representing. Almost 52, bro. 52? Yeah, I think the average age of everyone Standover is like fucking ancient, eh? Like, we are old.
So he's got a little bit of lore behind him. Like, last time I would have seen him play, he's obviously the singer of Forced to Submit.
Yeah.
And I would have seen it like back, I can't remember what the venue was called now, but there was shows that were called like metal versus hardcore, and there was like metal bands and hardcore bands, and it would always end up in a fight. Usually Angry Andy would always fight the singer of my deathcore band, Josh VC.
Oh, bro.
He just couldn't help himself.
Andy is one of my best friends in the world. I love that dude so much, and he knows it, but man, he was an animal back in the day, bro. Yeah. He was an animal back in the day. Him and I used to fucking beef so hard back in the day, bro.
Really?
We hated each other. Yeah, bro. I was like Eastside Crew versus ACHC bullshit. Like, we hated each other. We'd see each other at shows, step each other out.
Did you ever fight though?
Nah. Yeah. No, just fucking talked heaps of shit into each other's face, and like probably got peeled apart a couple of times maybe, or close to it, but no. Yeah. Andy is a lovely, lovely man. He's a great dad to his kids, and he's very, very different these days. Great guy, but fuck, those were some funny days, bro. I miss that shit,
Bro, last time I saw him, we were at like a pier in Wellington, and there was like some commemoration of like a ship, and they fired like a fake cannon. And it was loud as
this?
Fuck. Just last time I saw him, he just met us like we were catching an Inter-Islander.
True, cruising.
But back to Reese. So like that's the last time I saw him sing, and like he kind of held, well, in my mind, he kind of held like an old boy kind of like elite status of like, and then
it's been around for a long, long time, man.
For me to see him like back on stage, it gave me a taste of like an era that was before my time.
Yeah,
so,
right.
So pretty cool. Pretty cool to see.
I grew up going to Forced to Submit shows, bro, and that shit was wild. They had, Ross as a bassist, like playing a 6-string bass, like almost lead bass. Martin from Dawn of Azazel on drums, and fucking Tony and Joe from Dawn as the guitarist, bro. It was the most crushing, like, death grind I've ever heard in my life. Yeah. Like that, and Early Ulcerate was my shit growing up. Amazing.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a free packet of bagels off Slippy the other day.
Fuck yeah. Shout out Slippy.
Turned up to Best Ugly Bagel.
My man.
He was there on the making coffees on the barista thing. He's like this manager for Best Ugly or whatever, but he was just filling it on the coffee machine, so we had a quick chat.
Yeah, bro. Slippy era Ulcerate, bro, that smashed the Deceitful, and the becoming a genocide sort of era. That's fucking prime Ulcerate in my book. But Slippy's got also a really, really good understanding of European metalcore. Yeah, we like the same shit, him and I.
He was rattling off a whole lot of older bands like Archangel and
Reprisal, all that shit. We love the exact same shit.
Hate.
All the 8,000 stuff, all the length of time and shit. Yeah, bro.
Before my time.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
But funny story of Best Ugly Bagel. You know when you order a bagel and like you'd be like, cheese and tomato, and everyone in the shop's like cheese and tomato.
Yeah.
So, bro,
fuck, I hate that, bro.
So it's right there, right, and there's like a back door. So every time I order something or I walk past there, I'll just yell into the door, PBJ, and then the whole shop's like PBJ.
Yeah, sick. What's your order there, bro? What do you get from
PBJ?
You get
That's
PBJ?
what I'm into it.
Is that your go-to?
Just a bit of
PBJ,
protein,
little
fills you up.
Oat
and
flatty
an oat latte. Yeah.
See,
what's your order?
The Yodi, the pastrami one with the fucking little pickles in it.
Oh, nice. I would order the butter and Marmite, but it says thinly spread Marmite, and I'm a thick Marmite.
No. You don't play games with Marmite.
Anyway, Brainwave up next.
Yeah, Brainwave.
Wellington.
Great set. Awesome. Another awesome set. Yeah, Wellington hardcore band. Yeah. Been around for a hot minute. Like, 4 years at least, it feels like. Yeah, for a while. I remember people have changed positions. Was it Drum used to be the drummer, right? And then I don't know if he was ever on bass, but all of a sudden now he's on guitar. I don't know.
And then Caleb on bass.
You're asking me details I don't know about.
Yeah,
Caleb
Rob singing.
Yeah. Heavy Man, they got a new demo as well out, and those songs are good. They again, not a band that we've really had come out of Wellington sounding like that for a long time either. If you think about it, probably not really ever. They seem more influenced by like late wave American hardcore. You know,
I hear a lot of like Power Trip, and then the bands that branched off from that, like Gate Creeper and similar stuff that influences that Soul Void from up here. Totally,
but a lot of those bands that they're probably influenced by heaps of shit that we like Cro-Mags and stuff. It's that sort of hardcore. Yeah. It's got that groovy sort of, it's got a metallic tinge to it, but it's just, it's good hardcore. Good band, man, and like getting a lot of love back home, which is awesome to see.
Probably the only band with a whammy bar on set as well, so it's cool to hear some dive bombs.
I know there's a couple. Luca had dive bombs. Oh yeah. SG had dive bombs.
Oh no, you're right. Luca did have dive bombs. Yeah, that was mad.
Yeah. Good to see dive bombs back in hardcore. We need more.
Hard.
Need more trim, bro. Trim on stage.
Straight
More
up.
trim on the fullbacks.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, all the American bands have that sound of like their dive. Well, everyone's got dive bombers in their records,
Yeah.
but I reckon when it comes onto stage, no one's taking their Floyd Rose on tour, are they?
Yeah,
A bit fucking
stink.
bit stink. All right, so that brings us up to the Exile set. Yeah,
How'd
bro,
you feel?
I had a wild time.
Yeah?
I had a wild time.
You guys sounded fucking huge.
One of my boys got me a Red Bull right before, and
True.
I think it kind of like G'd me up, you know.
Hey.
And I was just excited to be there. You know what I mean? Like coming back to like what we're talking about, like the original vibes, like the SmackDown vibes. Like
Yeah.
we've been playing a lot of shows this year. Like we've Europe, Australia, Japan, and it was all like in front of like people that I don't know. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
fans. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you're setting up a show and then you know like that like 30 to 50 people are like
Your friends.
and that are other musicians as well, like the pressure is like on. Do you know what I
already
mean?
felt like that?
Yeah, I felt
Yeah.
like it was like
You
well, I
had to
mean, everyone was, you know, a band is fun too, and then you also you've got a personal mission to yourself for it to be like awesome as well.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
you
yeah.
got to hit like those goals. So I was just like, yeah, I'm keen for this. I'm keen for this to be a fucking monster set.
Oh fuck!
so.
You guys bought it, bro. It was awesome. It was huge. It was the best I've ever seen Exile play, for
Oh,
sure.
thanks.
And I've seen you guys heaps of times, as you know. Like, I thought it was heavy as fuck. Just like probably the biggest sound out the front that I've seen well mixed. You know, and you know venues like Valhalla, you've got to. There's a lot. There's a roll of the dice sometimes. It depends on which sound guy you got. There's a lot that could go wrong. And I think you guys sounded fucking phenomenal. It was awesome.
Sure. We had a fucking mean time, and we had two fill-ins. We had Andrew Morrissey, he's like the old bitter end, Harm's Way bassist. He was playing bass. We got a couple jams in with him. He went real well.
He played really well.
And then we borrowed your drummer, Sean Anderson, who's like one of the best drummers in New Zealand.
Yeah, man, he fucking killed it too. Like,
we had one jam with him
Yeah.
the night before. Maybe we ran through the set like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And he just absolutely smashed it. Super nice guy. So for me, there was so many things that made that show special. So the show itself, how important Summer of Hardcore New Zealand was to just be there, how I felt about it playing in front of everyone, and then I was also, you know, all of those things was pressure on me for Exile to put on a good performance when I knew I had 2 fill-ins, because it could have gone.
bro,
It could have
gone way worse. Yeah, but I don't reckon it could have gone better.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's know that was like you guys fucking delivered. It was awesome. It was huge. Like I think that was definitely the set of the night for me, bro. Personally,
Yeah.
that was just like fucking huge.
It-
Good vibe. Everyone was popping off. You know, like and you could tell that you guys were pumped.
Yeah.
As the show was happening, and that always makes a difference. You know.
For me, my favorite show, my favorite New Zealand show of like recent memory.
Yeah.
And there was some other, I can only really think of some other Exile highlights, and it was just like the album release that we had in 2022, because that also meant something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So discounting that one, that was my favorite New Zealand Exile show. It was of all my shows overseas
Awesome.
as well.
Yeah. And a lot of the bands have been saying that, as you know, like, let's not talk about the group chat that just hasn't quit since the fucking since the show, but like everyone is just so gassed, you know, like everyone's like, fuck, that's the best show, you know, in such a long time.
Yeah, it was humming for ages, wasn't it? It was like the embers were burning.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. It's good to see though, because you know there's already heaps of shit in the works for what's next. You know, shows throughout the year, and obviously Summer Hardcore will definitely be back next year.
Yeah,
and like, there's already headliners confirmed and all sorts. So if kids are psyched, it's good, man. Like, and hopefully it just inspires people to do more shows throughout the year. You know, there's already heaps of stuff coming up, like the Start Today crew booking all the all ages stuff at Thistle. There's a big calendar coming up, I think, of stuff this year to keep kids connected to the hardcore scene.
The resurgence of all ages hardcore. So you've got Start Today crew in Wellington, I see doing well, and then Sean, the old Cold Bay Winter guitarist, he's got a Swamp Cult thing and he puts on the all ages stuff.
Yeah, man, that's awesome.
You seen the footage from that? So you see all those kids doing like the press ups, like on the full
I did see that the other night. Just crack up.
I love to see them having like, you know, so much fun. I remember it was like the first time recently I saw for the first time Stacked play, and I saw when they were called Stacked, and now synthesis of self.
Say that one more time, bro.
And then Cease and Desist. So like this kid's like 17, and it's buzzy to be
like a 3-piece,
yeah. And it's buzzy to be like our age, like 35, and you look up and you've got like,
fuck, I wish I was 35.
It's like, I don't know, like
Fucking wish I was 35, G.
So many regrets, do you know
Gee.
what I mean?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, no, for sure though.
And I just buzz out like when I saw that footage of like All Ages Show and they were doing all those press ups like on the fullback thing, and I was, your instant thing is just to be like, what the fuck is happening there? But then you're like, everyone's just having fun, I used to turn up to those shows.
You can't hate kids for having fun, bro, but there's heaps of shit I hate to see, bro. You know what I mean? I remember, bro, like the days of when like we were playing huge shows and cousins would come to shows dressed like bananas, bro, and I ain't having any of that, bro. Like I reckon just, bro, just like fucking hell, don't wear a banana suit to a pit, bro. Just rule number 1, eh?
Well, I tell you what, people getting naked and moshing has left New Zealand hardcore.
Oh yeah, that was a strong like marker of what was happening up north for a hot minute, eh? Who was responsible for that?
No names.
Okay.
No names.
But there's footage of it on the SmackDown DVD, I think.
All right, so next up was the headliner, so the return of Saving Grace, which is one of like the OG metalcore New Zealand staples.
Sure, ball.
Yeah, how was it getting back on stage?
Awesome, bro. Like awesome to play with Josh. Been keeping that secret up our sleeve for a couple of months. The fact that
so Josh Baines, the Depth singer, is your new singer. So Nick's left.
Yep. So Nick actually he's quit and come back. I think 1.5, 2 times. But you know he was definitely done with music. Wanted to focus on family and everything else he's got going on. We've done this band, him and I, since 2004, bro. So it's 20 years this year.
Yeah, wow.
Christmas this year will be around the time we played our first show.
Couldn't come to hold out 20 years.
No, bigger fish to fry, bro. No. But if you think about like we put out our last actual album, bro, it's 2014. That's a long time ago. It's 10 years ago. Yeah. And then we did some we dropped a single. We still toured a little bit, but we're starting to wind down. Everyone's lives are getting busy. We did so much of what we wanted to do at that time. Like I thought I was kind of done. I ticked off everything I ever wanted to do in life with that band. But then the fire came back, bro, over COVID, just being locked away with heaps of material, like still writing. And it got to the point where Nick was like, yeah, let's do it. Because Face Down had been waiting for us to re-sign a deal for like a long time. Like, let's do another record. And we kept pushing the boat out and saying, yeah, it's coming, it's not, because we just couldn't get our shit together. And Nick eventually was just like, nah, I'm not going to do it. Yeah. I'm done. I'll do one more show. I'll come back. And I think when we announced that we did that Antagonist show for your guys' album, the last record that we played together in Wellington. I think that week Nick was like, this is my last show. Yeah.
I think I recall that backstage.
He was like, this is going to be my last show. And we already hadn't played for like a year at that point because the band, was on hiatus. So when Nick was decidedly out, we all got together at that show and we're like, we've still got fire in us. If he's gone and we find the right person, we'll do another record. And we considered even like finding someone in the US because we could easily go over there and just keep touring and have that sort of a situation where you could live in different countries. And I was like, I don't know anyone that I could trust to fill his shoes. Nick's got a massive voice. He's such a huge part of Saving Grace. Everything him and I created this thing and we were completely like 50-50 on so much of the direction of the band. I was like, that's going to be a weird thing to replace.
He's such a massive, I remember him, he can scream so loud without the fucking microphone. Bro. That used to be his party trick back in the day at shows. Drop the mic and just get on his knees and just like, fuck. Because it was right around when Lord of the Rings come out, so it was like, give me that you shall not pass moment.
Yeah, man. I remember Ben Reed from Kumakukli used to do a bit of that. There's dudes with huge voices in the scene, bro, but Nick's ferocious, huge voice. So when Josh agreed to do it, and I hadn't even thought about it, bro, until a spark came and I was like, bro, Josh Baines got the hugest voice. And I said to Sean, because obviously he plays in Depth, so I was like, bro, do you reckon Josh would ever consider? And he's like, bro, it's funny, he's been talking to me about it. And I was like, are you serious?
Really?
Yeah, so I reached out and I was, so they had a conversation without us connecting the dots about it.
Yeah.
And so I reached out to Josh and was like, why don't you come and have a jam with us? And he turned up and he was like, send me a set list or whatever. He's a professional musician, he's been doing this stuff for a long time. Yeah. We all go back. We sent him a set list. He came with all the lyrics printed out to rehearsal. Came to the rehearsal with all the shit printed out. Didn't miss a beat, bro. Every song just like...
He's got mad stamina, eh?
Oh, he's mean, bro. Yeah, and he did such a good job at Summer Hardcore, I thought. For his first show with us, and we were all gassed to play with him. He brought it, bro. Voice sounded huge. Yeah. He brought like a different sort of energy to some of the songs, which I really liked.
Definite different energies. He's got like a lower, fuller range. Yeah, because Nick could do the fry really well, right?
Like the what? Yeah.
And then Josh's thing is more like the lower.
I think that lower mid ranges is sort of like that's where he stays comfortably. Whereas Nick was really really low, guttural lows and heaps of highs, but his mid range was a different tone. Yeah. But it works, man. It worked for the songs. I thought it sounded huge. I was happy with it.
And his, especially for live. I mean, because a frontman is more than just the voice. So like Josh, he's got energy, he's moving around, and that's a big deal. So if something is like good enough, but can take the crowd away, can capture the crowd, then that's the ticket, right?
Yeah, man, he's got a good stamina to him too. Like he can hack, and the pace of like a set, where the songs have like a lot of energy exertion. Like the way I write a lot of the lyrics and some of the songs that we play is almost like just fucking relentless for a vocalist to do live. And he's commented, he's like, bro, how do you squeeze so many syllables into long? Yeah, some of the older songs were long, bro.
Or did he miss the
Yeah, bro. He did.
He did, bro.
Yeah.
Because I was waiting for it.
Do that again, bro. How does it go?
I've learned the lyrics a few times.
Yeah, go on.
No, I just know that the last words are in the temple of the Lord.
Yeah. As in the days of old, the glory fills the temple of the Lord, but it's like squeezed into about 4 seconds.
Lines in there. No. In the days of old and the glory of the temple.
As in the days of old, the glory fills the temple of the Lord.
Yeah. I'm into it.
Yeah, hard. Yeah, you missed it.
Yeah, when it's nailed, it's real hot. I like it.
Yeah, bro. I think he kind of looked at us
as
well. Like,
no, he did. He looked back and he was just like, this is fucking idiot.
Yeah, hard out, bro. It's funny. It's a bit hot in here, cuz. I might have to take this jacket off, G.
Yeah.
Can we smoke weed in here or what?
Not weed. And that's the end of part 1 with Vasily. I want to thank you guys for checking out my very first podcast. Coming soon, I got part 2 with Vasily. I got interviews with Brainwave and Luca from Wellington. They come up to Auckland on their Deadly Alliance tour featuring Big Ferg. Check that out. Follow, like, subscribe so you don't miss out on any Kiwistyle podcasts. If you want to support me and support the channel, you can head over to the Exile merch store, pick up some t-shirts. Every order comes with a free sticker pack. I just uploaded some dope designs like this, and this sick urban camo hoodie. If you've made it this far, I want you to drop a comment down below. Sweet dreams from Grafton City. I'll see you on the next episode of the Kiwistyle podcast. All right, I'm just messaging Vasily now because I'm doing some B-roll and I want to get his last name right. Hey, bro, can you just send me a voice message of how to say your last name? Sure, bro. Just you being Russian and all. I don't wanna mess it up.
Sapunov, bro. Like Sapunov.
Sapunov.
Suck me up.
Sapunov.
Suck my knob.
Sapunov. Vasily Sapunov. Pretty funny.